The Red Sea is a vital artery for the global economy, a narrow but crucial waterway that has shaped the fortunes of nations for centuries. Its strategic location has made it a crossroads for commerce, culture, and conflict throughout history. Stretching between Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, it connects the Indian Ocean to the Mediterranean via the Suez Canal, a man-made marvel that remains one of the world's most important shipping shortcuts. Every day, massive ships transit its waters, carrying about 12% of global trade, including nearly 10% of the world's seaborne oil. From electronics and clothing to food and fuel, the goods that pass through here touch nearly every aspect of modern life. Disruptions here send shockwaves worldwide, affecting prices and supply chains. Even a brief blockage can lead to shortages, delays, and rising costs for businesses and consumers alike. Today, this crucial route faces unprecedented threats, putting the stability of global trade at risk like never before. Houthi rebels in Yemen have launched missile and drone attacks on commercial vessels, forcing shipping companies to reroute around Africa, adding weeks and millions in costs. These attacks not only endanger lives but also disrupt the flow of essential goods, creating uncertainty for global markets. Piracy, especially from Somalia, remains a persistent danger, with instability on land fueling criminal activity at sea. Pirates target vulnerable ships seeking ransom and cargo, and their actions further complicate an already volatile situation. Western navies, US, Britain, France, now patrol the region, intercepting threats and escorting ships, but their resources are stretched thin. The sheer scale of the Red Sea, combined with other global commitments, makes it difficult to guarantee safety for every vessel. Frigates like the French Alsace and Danish Iver Huitfeldt have shot down drones and missiles, but the vast area and global commitments strain their capabilities. Each successful interception is a reminder of the constant vigilance required to keep these waters open. This security vacuum invites new players to assert influence in the Red Sea. Regional powers and outside actors alike see opportunity in the chaos, each seeking to shape the future of this vital corridor. The stakes are high. Whoever controls this corridor shapes the flow of global trade. The Red Sea is more than a shipping route. It is a geopolitical chessboard where the world's economic and security interests collide. The world is watching as the balance of power shifts in these strategic waters, knowing that what happens here will ripple across continents and economies for years to come. Turkey's naval surge in the Red Sea is no accident. It's the result of the Blue Homeland Doctrine, a strategy to transform Turkey into a global maritime power. Inspired by Ottoman legacy and a drive for independence, Turkey aims to project power far beyond its shores. The Blue Homeland vision has fueled a massive naval modernization, new frigates, submarines, and even plans for an aircraft carrier. Turkey's self-sufficiency in shipbuilding now enables it to operate in distant waters, like the Red Sea. For Ankara, securing this corridor is both economic and strategic, protecting trade routes and energy supplies. Deploying its navy here signals Turkey's intent to act independently, not just as a NATO ally. The Blue Homeland is now a reality, with Turkey's maritime frontier extending deep into the heart of global trade. Turkey's navy is now a visible force in the Red Sea, leading multinational missions and deploying advanced warships. Commanding Combined Task Force 151, Turkey has gained operational experience and credibility as a security partner. Turkish-built Ada-class corvettes and Gabia-class frigates patrol these waters, equipped with modern sensors, missiles, and helicopters. Their missions deter pirates, escort merchant ships, and protect Turkish interests. Beyond coalition work, Turkey conducts independent patrols, making port calls in Somalia and Djibouti to strengthen ties and show regional commitment. The Navy's growing sophistication allows for intelligence gathering, surveillance, and coordination with other international forces. Turkish sailors now operate seamlessly alongside global navies, cementing Turkey's status as a permanent stakeholder in Red Sea security. The message is clear. Turkey is no longer a bystander, but a key player shaping the region's maritime future. Turkey's expanding naval presence in the Red Sea is stirring mixed reactions and prompting a wave of geopolitical maneuvering across the region. Once seen as a peripheral player, Turkey is now asserting itself as a maritime power, projecting influence far beyond its traditional borders. This shift is not going unnoticed by other nations, each recalibrating their strategies in response to Ankara's ambitions. Egypt and Saudi Arabia, longtime regional powers, view Ankara's ambitions with caution, wary of challenges to their influence near the Suez Canal. For Cairo and Riyadh, the Red Sea is a lifeline for trade and security, and Turkey's growing footprint is seen as both a threat and a potential disruptor to the established order. Their leaders are watching closely, balancing diplomatic engagement with military preparedness. The US and Europe, stretched thin by global commitments, quietly welcome Turkey's help against piracy and instability, but remain skeptical of its independent agenda. Western officials appreciate the extra muscle, yet worry that Turkey's assertiveness could complicate coordination and undermine shared objectives in the region. Turkey's actions don't always align with NATO, making it both a partner and a potential wildcard. While Ankara participates in joint exercises, its willingness to act unilaterally sometimes puts it at odds with its allies, raising questions about trust and long-term cooperation. The UAE sees Turkey as both competitor and possible collaborator, with recent diplomatic thaws opening doors for joint security efforts. As both nations seek to expand their influence, they are exploring new avenues for cooperation, even as underlying rivalries persist. China, with its base in Djibouti, closely monitors Turkey's moves, wary of new rivals complicating its Belt and Road ambitions. Beijing is keen to protect its investments and shipping lanes, and any shift in the balance of power is met with careful scrutiny. The Red Sea is now a chessboard of shifting alliances and rivalries, where every move can tip the balance of power. Nations are forging new partnerships, testing old alliances, and constantly reassessing their positions. Turkey's presence ensures no single nation dominates, but also adds complexity to an already crowded maritime arena. The competition for influence is fierce, and the stakes, control over vital trade routes and regional security, are higher than ever. Every move is watched, every alliance tested. Intelligence agencies and military strategists are constantly analyzing Turkey's maneuvers, looking for signs of new alignments or emerging threats. The region's future will be shaped by how these powers respond to Turkey's rise, whether through confrontation, cooperation, or a delicate balance of both. In this evolving landscape, every decision will echo far beyond the Red Sea's shores. Turkish naval patrols bring clear benefits, boosting maritime security, protecting trade, and sharing the burden with Western navies. For shipping and consumers, this means more reliable supply chains and lower costs. Turkey's proactive stance sets an example for regional responsibility, encouraging others to invest in security. But the assertive Blue Homeland doctrine also raises tensions. Egypt and Saudi Arabia may see Turkey's buildup as a threat, risking a naval arms race. With so many navies operating in close quarters, the risk of miscalculation or confrontation is real. Turkey's independent approach could either stabilize the region or spark new conflicts. The Red Sea is a lifeline for millions, delivering food and aid to crisis-hit nations like Yemen, Sudan, and Somalia. Attacks and piracy threaten these shipments, delaying or diverting vital supplies. Turkish naval patrols help safeguard humanitarian convoys, ensuring aid reaches those in need. Turkey's deep ties with Somalia through aid and military training extend its influence and stabilize the region. By suppressing piracy, Turkish ships protect both global trade and vulnerable coastal communities. Yet increased militarization brings risks. A major clash could sever these lifelines, with catastrophic consequences for those who depend on them. Naval forces must balance strength with restraint to avoid triggering wider conflict. The mission is clear: protect the flow of aid without escalating the crisis. Turkey's next moves in the Red Sea could reshape the region, with consequences that reach far beyond its shores. As global attention focuses on this strategic waterway, Ankara faces a series of critical decisions that will define its role for years to come. The boldest option on the table is to establish a permanent naval base, potentially in Sudan or Somalia. Such a move would allow Turkey to project military power, safeguard its interests, and secure long-term influence in a region that is increasingly vital for global trade and energy routes. Alternatively, Turkey could choose a more diplomatic path, deepening partnerships with Gulf states like Saudi Arabia and the UAE. By coordinating naval patrols and sharing intelligence, Turkey could help build a unified security front, strengthening regional stability while expanding its own network of alliances. But these ambitions are not without risks. Pushback is possible. Egypt and other regional powers may view Turkey's rise with suspicion, responding by forming their own alliances or increasing their military deployments to counterbalance Ankara's influence. Meanwhile, global powers like the United States and China are watching closely. Both have significant interests in the Red Sea, and they may pressure Turkey diplomatically or economically if its actions threaten to disrupt the delicate balance of power in this critical region. Most likely, Turkey will pursue a hybrid approach, blending a permanent presence with selective partnerships. This strategy allows Ankara to act independently when necessary, but also to cooperate with others when interests align, maximizing its flexibility and influence. The Red Sea is now a multipolar arena where shifting alliances and contested influence create both opportunities and challenges for all involved. Turkey's ability to navigate this complex landscape, balancing ambition with diplomacy, will determine whether it emerges as a stabilizing force or a source of new tensions in the region. The stakes are high. The future of one of the world's most vital maritime corridors, and the balance of power in a region that connects continents and shapes global commerce. Turkey's push into the Red Sea is a turning point for the region and for Ankara's global ambitions. The Blue Homeland Doctrine is now reality, with Turkish warships patrolling a critical maritime choke point. Turkey's presence strengthens security and helps keep trade and aid flowing, but also introduces new rivalries and risks. How Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, the US, and China respond will shape whether Turkey is a partner or a challenger. As old security orders fade, Turkey is stepping up, testing its ability to lead and cooperate. The world is watching. Will Turkey's rise bring order or spark new conflict? The fate of the Red Sea and global trade hangs in the balance.